Looks like there's only one loose end now.
Please, let's have a little respect for public transportation.
You came back!
You were right, Roxanne. I never should have left.
I thought you were dead.
My death was greatly exaggerated.
Stellaris Aquatics Species Pack has just dropped. We've got a whole host of new content. Today I'm going to be bringing to you a new meta build. I'm going to say it's an off meta build actually. We're going to combine some of the civics, traits and ethics that have been allowed to go a little dusty on the shelf, all thanks to the use of the brand new origin, and that is Ocean Paradise. Ocean Paradise is going to allow us, hopefully, to build a very, very tall empire. It's not quite a one planet challenge empire, although everything important happens on the capital. We will be producing all of our resources there, all of our research there, all of our alloys there. It is going to be very, very crazy. But we should be able to stand toe to toe with some of the more powerful builds in the current Stellaris meta. For those of you that love Agrarian Idyll, that love catalytic processing, that love food, you are in for a treat today. And if you enjoy this video, please farm that like button. Welcome to the Andari Mandate. A little bit of a wacky build. We're mixing together quite a few things that I've not really had the opportunity to mix together before, and we've mixed some off-meta elements with some new things from Stellaris Aquatics Species Pack, and we've got a real strange combination. So what is the crux of this one? It starts off with the origin, and that is the new origin, Ocean Paradise. Ocean Paradise means that your homeworld will start as an ocean world with lots of food deposits. We're actually going to get the option to build up to, I believe it's 24 food districts, agriculture districts, as well as bonuses to happiness, pop growth speed and output. This planet is basically going to function like a Gaia world. It's basically going to be an almost Gaia world, and it's very close to a Gaia world start because we have no guaranteed habitable planets. However, we still have the ocean world preference, so if we find any wet climate worlds or ocean worlds, we will be able to colonize them. Due to the origin, we must take the aquatics trait. That is free in terms of points, and what does it do? Well, it increases our ocean habitability by 20%. Not really a big deal on our home world, but that means any other ocean worlds we will have 100% habitability on. It also reduces our housing usage by 10%. I've offset that by taking solitary, so we've basically got no change to the housing there, giving us an extra free point. All of our basic resources, food, energy and mineral outputs on every ocean world go up by 10%. And then we get some big negative modifiers on non-wet worlds, and we get some hull strength modifiers from all of our admirals of plus 10%. The other traits I've taken, Agrarian, you'll see why I've gone for that in a moment. Usually quite a poor trait, but in this case it's going to be pretty essential to our empire build. Intelligent, that'll boost all of our research, very important. Natural engineers, that means we're going to be getting plus 25% engineering research output. That is going to help us get all of our ship technologies unlocked. And then unruly, because it's almost a free pick. If we jump over to government ethics now, you'll see that I've got some strange things. Catalytic processing came in LEM, and apart from some wacky interactions with machine empires, wasn't really that powerful. Now we're going to try and change all that. So, Agrarian Idyll, that means that all of our basic resource districts get +1 housing, and all of our farmers produce 2 amenities. In addition, every 4 agriculture districts will grant us a single building slot. That's going to be useful. That means at the start of the game, we're going to get a very, very large number of agriculture districts on our homeworld, which will give us 1 free building slot at least, meaning that this will function very close to functional architecture in the very beginning. We do have to be pacifist in order to take that, so that is a minor issue, meaning we cannot have unrestricted war. We can still, of course, turn other empires into tributaries or vassals and then integrate those vassals. We do get some stability, which is nice. Xenophobe here, we want this extra pop growth speed, that's going to be important, and starbase influence cost reduction is going to help as well. Finally, I've thrown in authoritarian here just for a little bit of extra influence and worker pop resource output, as well as allowing us to use the stratified economy living standard. This is our off-meta Dolphinoid Empire. Let's dive in. So this is our starting world. It is a chunky world, it is size 30, and it has the Ocean Paradise modifier. That gives us plus 15% happiness, plus 10% pop growth speed, and plus 5% resources from jobs. As you can see, it is very, very close to a Gaia world. We do start off with 6 agriculture districts, which is giving us an extra building slot, and we've got many pops working those farmer jobs. If we actually look at the beginning of the game, we're going to be starting with a whopping 82 food. You will want to be running a militarized economy right from the get-go. That is going to be very useful here. It's also good to change to isolationist diplomatic stance. So what you'll want to do on your capital world, I would recommend building an autochthon monument to start with. That's going to help boost your unity production. You will need at least one of those, if not 2 as the game goes on. And then more research labs. As well, you want to, as you get the opportunity, increase the industrial districts on your homeworld. You want to get that up to a nice solid 6 or 7 along with the alloy building. Now this part does have a little bit of random number generation involved. What we are going to do is when we find some worlds, we are going to colonize them. For instance, this world here is a size 16 Arctic world, which for us will have 0% habitability. A bit of a shame that we didn't find any continental worlds, but we are still going to make use of this planet. And if we find a couple of other planets, they will be very useful as well. I have now found a tropical world as well. That was only 4 jumps away from our home system. Because we have an influence cost reduction when we are building our outposts, it is quite easy to get over here. As well as the fact that on our capital, we are building up more industrial districts, we are going to be getting more alloys produced. Another key benefit of the Ocean Paradise start is that you start off in a nebula, and we can definitely take advantage of that. As soon as you unlock 0G refineries, which is a very early technology, you will get access to the Starbase building Nebula Refinery. It is imperative that you build this to increase your mineral production to allow you to build more buildings. You should place this Nebula Refinery down on every star base that you have inside of your starting nebula. In my case, that is 3 Nebula Refineries, meaning I'm getting an extra plus 30 minerals. Now I've done something a little odd. We're about 20 years into the game, 20 to 22 years into the game, and what I've done is I have moved my capital. This planet, Delphine's Eddy, is no longer our capital. Instead, I have picked one of my other worlds and I have used the move capital button and spent 250 influence. Why have I done that? Well, I've done that in order to designate this world as a forge world. That has allowed me to shift all of my specialists into this catalytic technician job. You will lose 10 amenities on your homeworld when this happens, so make sure you have distributed luxuries first. That's going to be very helpful to keep your amenities balanced. And you will also lose all of your artisans on your capital. For that reason, you should make sure on some of the rubbish worlds you've set up a few artisan buildings. That way you're going to be able to ride this out without too much of a problem. You should have been building up many consumer goods. I have currently got a stockpile of 1,000 to tie us over for the next 10 years until we get to 2230 and we go on the aggressive. Due to Agrarian Idyll, we do have 26 amenities on our capital here. That is also very much helping us balance out any amenity issues. And here is the fleet that I've managed to construct. We've got about 11k worth of ships. That's 70 destroyers. Now, it is 2230. This would be the point to go to war in some sort of multiplayer game. 11,000 worth of destroyers isn't a massive amount by any measure. There are better builds which can output more ships, absolutely. But time is on your side with this build. As time goes on, you will research more technology. You will be able to start terraforming or finding ocean worlds or regular wet worlds, and you will be able to continue expanding outwards. The reason this is better than a Gaia world start where you could do roughly the same thing is that we still have the habitability on wet worlds. They're still 100% or 60%, and we're getting some great bonuses there. This build is definitely a very tall build. We have the focus on a single world, which is producing the majority of our resources. We've mainly only colonized those other worlds, partly for the artisans, but in the majority so we could get out some extra pop growth and migrate those pops back to our capital here, back to Delphine's Eddy. As the game progresses, you could quite comfortably turn your size 30 plus world into an ecumenopolis. That would have a massive number of forge arcologies at its disposal. If you'd like to know more about ecumenopolis planets, click the video on screen now.